the prefix SID. Now we have an IGP node segment, and this is a subtype of the prefix segment. It can only be associated with a host prefix. And you might be asking yourselves, okay, well, how is the node segment different from the prefix segment? And the difference is it can only be associated with the host prefix, and it has this in flag that is set. The prefix segment doesn't have the in flag set, and the prefix segment can't only be associated with the host prefix. And when I say host prefix, I'm talking about a /32, i.e. a loopback address. All right, so now let's talk about the IGP Anycast segment. And again, we've got multiple names here. It can be the IGP Anycast segment, it can be the Anycast segment, or just the Anycast SID. And it refers to a group of nodes, like you would think, right? Because that's really Anycast. It's one to many. And so that is exactly what the Anycast segment is all about. And the in flag is not set in the Anycast segment. And then we've got the IGP adjacency segment. And this is the IGP segment type that does not support ECMP. So the adjacency segment, and again, multiple names here, and this one's got the most. It's IGP adjacency segment, also known as the adjacency segment, or adjacency SID, or just ADJ SID. And so I'll typically just say adjacency segment. Typically local to a node, but it can be global. It's advertised by the IGP. There's one for every interface that is up on the router, and the label is derived from the normal block of the MPLS label space. So unlike the segment ID that's coming out of the sr1bb, this is coming out of the just the normal label space. Now, like I already said, this doesn't support ECMP, and it only represents a single link. And it's because it only represents a single link that it doesn't support ECMP. So that is a consideration when building your explicit paths. All right, well, that is going to do it for our introduction into segment routing. We covered quite a bit of ground here. Again, the slides were a little wordy. I apologize for that, but there is a significant amount of new terminology that we need to tackle in order to understand exactly what we're going to see. All right, again, the idea here is to provide for you a soft landing into the world of segment routing so that you can then take off and be successful if this is the next topic you're going to choose to learn. All right, let's now go into the penultimate, and yes, the pun is intended there. We are finally at the penultimate module for this course, where we're going to get onto the CLI, we're going to configure segment routing, and we're going to take a look at the output of some segment routing commands to see what does the OSPF database look like? How do we configure segment routing in our environment? And does it really look different than